And hold on one second. I am trying to present and record and all that great stuff all at the same time. Let's see what Canva will let me do. All right. So what are you all able to see? You all are able to see my entire slideshow, right? I think that is the only way. Is that the only way I can present? I don't know if I necessarily like that. All right. Well, hopefully you all won't mind the little extra. Let's see if I can. No, they don't want me to close this out or anything. All right. This what happens when you try to use platforms the way you want to use them rather than how they're made to use. So I don't have a platform that will record this for me and allow me to show the slideshow. So I have just bridged a whole lot of things together, and that's really what I plan on doing for you all today. My name is Crystal O'Brien. I am technically the PR or public relations specialist here with the Gary Community School Corporation. I've been with the district for 6 years now, so I've been on this roller coaster with many of you all. I graduated from the original Emerson in visual performing arts. I have two daughters, one that's 22 and one that's 7. Both have gone through public school systems. And so I know what it's like. I know what it feels like to want to be more involved and be more engaged, and what those obstacles sometimes can look like when you're not familiar with the school district and the things they have to offer. One thing I can say about my experience with Gary Community School Corporation, working from the inside as well as being a parent, is that there are this plethora of information and resources that sometimes parents don't get to tap into, and that is my ultimate goal now that communications department now works with FACE, which is called Family and Community Engagement in each of the schools. It's really, really my goal to be able to be transparent and give the parents as many of the tools and resources that exist in our school district so that we can be successful as these co-creators, these co-parents. We are bridging and making these kids to be a little, experiment of all of us, right? They're a combination of their nurture and nature. And we want to give them all the support that we can, especially with the resources that we have, a lot of them for free here in the public schools. So, um, outside of me being an employee, I am a mom first, and sometimes people forget that because I don't come from an education background. I actually come from a business background, and so sometimes I even have to tell my colleagues, like, "Come on, bring it down." I don't know what we're talking about because they get so caught up in the lingo of what educators are used to saying and short form, and they don't understand sometimes that it goes over a parent's head. So again, I want to be able to help us bridge that gap so that parents know that we are here. We want to support you, but we only have so many hours in a day. So what that looks like and what you all need, that's where we need that communication to come in. So this is our second round of parent partnership. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get all my P's mixed up because we have about 100 parent named activities, but this is the second parent power hour. And I'm going to do my best to give all of the reasons and ideas behind all these parent groups and entities. Hopefully, it makes sense. Feel free to ask questions if something doesn't make sense so that you can share the information, find out really where you fit or what level you want to be involved in, and be able to, co-collaborate on these different initiatives that we have. So for our Parent Power Hour, our first one was last month, and it was around the behavior matrix and attendance and different laws and policies that have changed this year based off the state law, right? So the state does these changes, and then they roll them out, and usually like July 1st they become active, and then it's up to the school district to stay accountable and update their policies and procedures and different things so that it aligns with what the state wants us to do. Um, Hold on one second. Sorry. So with that, we wanted to give that opportunity for parents straight out of the gate, beginning of the school year. Let's talk about what this new attendance law means. Let's talk about what this new behavior matrix looks like so that we're all on one accord as far as, what we should have as expectations. Well, we're going into month two. We're still, getting our feet together as far as what school looks like for some kids as they're transitioning to new grades and new schools. And so we wanted to be able to have that conversation of what safety and what belonging means in the school district, right? We want to be all inclusive. We want to make sure that our families feel supported, that our students feel supported. And in order for us to do that, you got to know who our partners are. Are those are our strengths, right? We can't all do it alone. As a single mom, I know I can't do it alone. It takes my village, right? Sometimes I need help with pickup. Sometimes I need help if she's sick or I don't know how to address a particular problem. And understand that your school support system is a bridge to that, is a branch of whatever it is you build in your home, and maybe that you have your extended family, that may be friends, etc. Well, your school should be that for you as well. So what those partnerships look like is what we'll be going over today, just to kind of give you that peace of mind, that guidance. I mean, sometimes that's where friendships, formulate, right? You may know somebody from PTA, PTO. Hey, we used to do things together at our kids' school, and then we started to hang out or whatever the case. A lot of times we don't allow our kids to have certain friendships and relationships because what's the first thing we say? I don't know they mama. Right? So we got to be able to have those relationships. We won't have it if we aren't connecting with one another, right? So these opportunities and things that we are putting forth in our districts are so that we can have those relationships not only with each other, but that so you can have those relationships outside the walls of the school district. So the goal is that we do this together, right? I don't know how we're doing all the things that we're doing, but we keep doing it, right? We're supporting our kids every day. I know our parents are doing their best at home, but we want to make sure that at no point in time do you not feel heard or that we don't value your input. We really believe in working together is going to be the greatest mix for our kids, right? And in order to do that, you just kind of have to know where that table is. It's not that you don't have a seat at the table, you just need to know where the table is. And so that's what these conversations are. It's that idea and that map of figuring out where and how you want to fit into the equation as far as being around these conversation pieces and be able to share it with your network, because you may know some parents, whether your kids are in sports or different activities, maybe they do stuff outside of the school. Parents may have left the district just because they have this mindset that I'm not welcome, I don't have the support that I need, but we want to be able to be that and have that. And sometimes it's not that we don't have it. Maybe someone didn't know where that resource was. So we're educating even internally on understanding where all these treasures lie within our school. Right. So my goal for today is to give you that aha moment, give you one thing, one resource, one person, something that says, "I didn't even know we had that," or had access to this type of information, or "I didn't know we were doing that in the schools." If I can do that, I've done my job, right? Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to get you a little excited, something to excite you to say, I want to be a part of this community. I want to be a voice in my child's school. No, I want to be at the table where they're making district decisions. No, I want to be really connecting with more partners for my student because I know of other opportunities. Whatever that is, I want you to be able to walk away being a little more excited. Um, about the things happening in the district. And again, maybe it'll be that opportunity for you to share with someone else and bring them aboard, right? So that's my last is that you'll want to share and you'll be excited about sharing because some people don't even know we have Facebook. Some people don't know that we share information regularly on our website, that each school has their own Facebook page. There's so many different avenues that we share information. You may not know that as well. And so we'll be able to bridge those gaps for you. So, if you didn't know, this whole week is around this co creating between our families and our schools, right? We want to be able to have an environment that's safe and that everyone feels like they belong, and that pertains to you as parents and family, as well as our students feeling that when they're in our buildings. And it starts with a conversation, right? And so that's what this whole week is about, is that your voice is heard, your voice is valued. There are multiple opportunities for you to have that put out there. Today's more of an informational. We always welcome input, so I will share my information if you just feel like, hey, I just want to have this information passed on to someone, or I really want to know more information about this particular program. I'll share my information. If there's something we share today and you just want that follow up, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll make sure that you get all that information. But a lot of what I'm sharing today is already on our Facebook page and on our website. So feel free to kind of explore and see what that looks like, and be able to join us for other opportunities this week. So, quick run through today. You're here. Yay! Share with someone. We will be recording this and putting it on our website sometime this week. Tomorrow is that feedback on the student behavior matrix. So, as I mentioned, our first parent power hour was around that student matrix that is found in our code, our parent, nope, our student handbook, our student and community handbook. I'm sorry, it's a mouthful. And that's under our quick links on our website. So if you go there, don't be intimidated. It is over 100 pages long, but guess what? It has that table of contents, and I believe it's in the 30s or 40s in the page number. But if you look for like behavior in that context, you'll be able to quickly go. It's a bookmark there as well. You'll be able to quickly go to that section of the handbook where it explains what we do as a district if something happens in our school. And we've broken it down even by grades, giving you an overview. If you guys missed last week, or last month. If you're in second grade, your consequence for yelling or an outburst is going to be different from if you're in ninth grade, right? If you're in ninth grade, you should probably have a little more control over yourself. If you're in kindergarten or first or second grade, you may still be learning about how to have these outlets of talking appropriately and understanding, the dynamics of school and the classroom and things like that. So we don't just jump to suspension. We aren't just jumping to harsh punishments. We are trying to teach our kids certain behaviors that take place, right? Because this is what you're going to have to learn for adulthood, in hopes that by the time they get to high school, we're able to have more mature, different supports there for them for any challenges they may have. But it's not just a suspension put out because we need them in the classrooms to learn. So that's ultimately the goal, is to keep them in school and engaged. And we are doing that. One angle of us doing that is that behavior matrix. So if you look at it and you read through it and hey, I have a third grader or I have a seventh grader, and I don't really agree with how you all approach bullying, or how you all approach uh, a child hitting another child. Look through that and see how it's relevant to you, your family, if you have kids that have already graduated, if you would have hoped it went a different way with the supports. This is that opportunity for you to be at the table and have that feedback as a parent. Hey, I don't think you all should approach it this way, because the person who knows the best is going to be you, right? You are our kids' first teacher. So we need that feedback from you. And that's what the feedback on student behavior matrix is tomorrow. There are two sessions, both here at Westside. On the administrative side, you'll enter in door V if you're interested, and that'll be run by our academics department. Then the exciting October 1st, coffee with a cop. I've done a little bit of a twist, right? I can't, if once you know me, I don't do things the normal way. So Coffee with a Cop is that opportunity for us to have, it's a national program, but it was the opportunity for the community to talk to law enforcement in a non-stuffy, non-agenda space. We're taking that with safety in our schools. So our safety and security will be present, and we've also invited some law enforcement from the community to be able to be here. And it is just coffee. You could talk about sports, you can talk about the weather, or you can talk about something that concerns you in your neighborhood, in your school, just so that you have that dialogue, because we don't know unless we're talking about it, right? It's not a session of tearing anybody down or attacking anyone. It's just a space for us to come together and talk with one another, leading into a more constructive space for that Friday conversation, which I'll touch on in a second. Then on October 2nd, we will be doing some hands on IT type training. So, those families who may only go on Skyward, let's say for enrollment, but you don't touch it any other time. I don't know the point of it, I don't use it. Ugh. Well, we are going to show you those benefits live. You can come to Williams Elementary School. We have two sessions, one from 10 to 11 and one from 1 to 2, where we'll show you what it looks like from the desktop version versus your phone, where you'll learn all the features, which are a little different for each level, right? From the elementary versus the secondary. You'll know how to check your child's attendance, make sure that's accurate, because with the new state laws, we want it to be accurate, to how to check the grades. Because after the first marking period, the schools aren't really printing off the grades. So we want to make sure you know how to access that information, and even request to update your personal information if your phone number or address changes, as well as if your child's in high school, do they have the courses they need to graduate? There's a breakdown for all these areas. So if you have problems or questions with Skyward and you really want that hands on, or it's just simple, I locked myself out a while ago. I have no idea how to get into it. Come on, we'll walk you through it. I promise you, there are no crazy questions when it comes to needing that help. Sometimes for those who were on time, well, no, I needed some help logging in today. I don't know what happens sometimes. The simplest things sometimes confuse me. So definitely, if you have any questions around um, technology as it relates to from you as a family person, even if it's other platforms, your Class Dojo, your Remind, anything that's a platform that you need assistance with for as a parent, we can help you on that day on October 2nd. Then Friday is the the cherry on top, the roundtable discussion. It will be here at Westside Leadership Academy, and it will be from 2 to 3:30. Now, if you look at the flyer closely, in the right side at the bottom, it gives the topic focus areas we'll be discussing, right? And there will be administration there, there will be district people, there will be parents, there will be community individuals, and we are going to have this conversation, right? It's not just we're going to tell you that this is how you build trust. I don't know how you build trust. I don't know how to welcome you or give you, have that insight. So it will take all of us. Invite a friend. We'll have some snacks, and I promise you, you will not regret being in the room. We really, really, really want as many of our parents and community partners here with us. So, to piggyback off of what that looks like for our partners, like I said, we have partners internally and externally, and they've been doing amazing things. I just want to highlight what they've done this week, right? Or this past week. For those of you who may or may not know, we had College Go Week this past week. And that is an initiative we actually had through all our grades, right? So for elementary, middle, and high, they had these opportunities and experiences to be able to start thinking about what's next because it's about to come, right? We know childhood is like, and it's over. So we need you thinking about what you want to do when you grow up. We want to give as much exposure as we can. And sometimes families don't even know this is happening because how many times our kids come home, you ask them what they did today, and they won't even tell you they did an activity like this. We had individuals from NIPSCO. We had police all the way from the city all the way to the state. We had different organizations from like environmental standpoint to public education to nonprofit, for profit, everything in between. And they were at every elementary school. We had panel discussions at the middle school, and the high school had a whole in-depth hands-on opportunity to walk through different assessments and things that would narrow down what it looks like career-wise or things they may enjoy going to school for based off of things that they like now. So it was again very hands-on opportunities for our kids to see what college and after college looks like, or even if they decide to go into a trade. They had different trades at the event for our high school students as well. They had the opportunity to go over to IU Northwest for the annual Urban League Scholarship Fair. They had, of course, as always, on the spot scholarships given to our students. I don't know the exact number yet. I know that they're always usually close to or in the millions of the amount that our seniors get walking away from this experience, right? And that's through our partnerships. Those opportunities are not always everywhere. Now, of course, Urban League are going to open it up to all the schools, right? So whether your child's in public or charter or whatever, but there are opportunities that are exclusive just to Gary Community School Corporation. And so we just want to be able to highlight what those partnerships look like and make sure that you're able to share some of those informations and partnerships with other families. The other one that sometimes gets missed in the radar or falls under the radar is the NAACP. They have the AXO. I always hear about it right when the results happen. I'm like, they won what? What happened? Right? So our kids are in all these different organizations from they get to perform in different levels. I'm trying to think of the other performance that our arts program does. But there are a number of opportunities for our kids, no matter what their interests are, to be able to enhance that as they get older and in different programs. So this is more from the art standpoint, but even from if your child is more into one of the STEM related careers, we have an upcoming event. I did not put a slide for this one. We have an upcoming event with a partnership with Boeing where they'll be doing hands on experiences, experiments, and a full day excursion in their um, airport hangar here at the Gary Chicago International Airport. So there'll be selected students between 7th and 12th grade that happens in October. to be able to have this experience of what a career looks like if I decided to go into aviation, if I decided to be an engineer, if I decided to be one of those controllers, because I guess that's going to evolve now that they're bringing sight to how things need to be updated in the airport. But our kids could be a part of that. There's so many opportunities, and we want to make sure that they know about those. But a lot of times it comes from us, the parents, right? The parents need to know what's happening so that we can encourage our kids to say, maybe you should check out the career center. Maybe you should look into aviation or graphic design or whatever it is, because you all know what your kids' strengths are. So we highly encourage you to just continue to follow us. Keep your ear, open for events or online things like this where we're sharing information so that you can share it with your families, and of course encourage your child to be the best that they can be. um, this is an old flyer, but let me tell you, I just worked so hard on it. But if you don't know, on a day to day basis, you have a FACE, right? Family and Community Engagement Liaison. It says we're hiring, but we are actually wrapping up with interviews, and hopefully, we are going to have a representative at each and every one of our schools sometime this month. And what is that Family and Community Engagement Liaison? Well, I'm glad you asked, because there are parents, even at the high school level, who don't know about our FACE. There is a whole room for families to go into in each one of our schools. Each one of our schools has an opportunity for parents to walk in and say, "Hey, where's the parent resource room?" And if you enter into the room, you will find a number of different resources that are available, at your school. Also at our elementary schools, and a couple, well, I think one of the middle schools has City Connects, another opportunity for you to get more information and resources that are available to our kids because of partnerships and grants and opportunities that are exclusive to Gary Community School Corporation. So if you don't know who your face is, I highly encourage you to ask your someone in the office, and just be able to put a face, a name with a face, so that you know who that is, because that's your liaison, that is your person. And if it's even information you expect from them that you would like to have, hey, I've heard some stuff on a district level. I don't think I saw it in the school. Are you all sharing the information? Are you guys putting it on Class Dojo? What is there anything that I can do to help? What kind of activities are you all doing on the school level? Because actually each and every one of our schools has parent engagement as well. If you're not always able to make it to those type of events, have that conversation with your face on. Maybe if we did it at this time or did it online, we'll have a little more turnout. Or if we worked with this class or around this topic or whatever it is, you can work with your face liaison to give them some ideas, because, one mind is one mind. But if it's a couple of you all and they're getting feedback from parents, more than likely it's going to be more successful. So we definitely want you to know that FACE exists. A family parent room exists in each one of our schools. If you need to use the computer, there's access there. You need to just have a moment and talk to a face about resources. You're looking for something in the community, a connection, whatever it is. If they don't know, they got to find out. Okay. So challenge your face, and find out who that is in your child's school. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is the mentoring opportunities. Here at the high school, we have a program called AAA Mentorship. This is something that has started this year. There are two QR codes, but if you can't scan them or read them, I just encourage you to write down this name. His name is Aaron King. He is the Assistant Director of Federal Programs here at the Gary Community School Corporation. And outside of the million and one things that he does for our kids, he has started started this mentoring group specifically for our young men. We'll have a young ladies one later, but right now we're focusing on what our young men may need. So if you know someone who wants to be a mentor, or you have someone that you want to encourage to be a part of the program, those are the two QR codes available for anyone to be um, involved, whether they're, want to be a mentee or a mentor. Then the awesome news recently came down the pipeline. A new partnership has budded in the community, and that is Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, but that is actually a national program. I was a part of it when I was in college. I had a little sis, and it is amazing that they've decided to bring that here to Northwest Indiana. So they're starting every other Thursday. I believe it's something in the teens in October. So let's see, October Thursday. So that'd be October 16th, I believe, will be their first meeting at the library. But again, if you know someone from a child, or if you're interested in being a mentor, there's that opportunity for you to connect and be able to make an impact on that one-on-one level, right? The other piece that I would like to share with you all. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me ask or do a little poll now. Does anyone on the call, any families, know of any parent groups or programs we currently have at Gary Community School Corporation? Don't all yell at once. We've started a few initiatives, but if anyone can either put in the chat or unmute yourself and tell me of any of the parent initiatives or groups that we have available for you to be involved. I know there are some on the call that are actually a part of these communities. Hello, hello, Mrs. Burton. I am great. Can you share with the group any any groups you could think of? Yes. 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 Thank you, Miss Adams. She gave you the answer in the chat. It is called the Parent Partnership Council. Uh, Miss Adams, would you mind sharing the flyer or the link in the chat as well? I didn't have time to grab it this morning, but the Parent Partnership Council is that district-wide, district level community to be able to give insight, feedback, and be a part of the decisions we make as far as parent engagement, family engagement on a district level. So, not just necessarily at your child's school, but across the board. So, we really invite families because we want representation at each level to be a part of that, to go ahead and connect with Miss Adams to be able to speak more, to have a voice on on a district level of how to have parents more engaged. And our initiative and our push is around literacy. So if you have a passion for literacy or family engagement, it's a really great group to be a part of. And we meet once a month here at District. I think Miss Adams has started to switch it up for different locations. I don't know if she'll do that every month, but we did recently have a meeting at the Gary Literacy Coalition, which again is another one of our amazing partners, to be able to, come out of the school walls and be able to connect with our community. The other opportunity, outside of what you all may be used to seeing, like a PTA or PTO, we have the PAC, PAC, PAC. I can't even talk today. And the PAC is the same thing as far as a voice on the school level as it relates to what you want to see in the school, how we engage with our families, etc. Right? So our principals will have those meetings regularly, and it will be that opportunity for you to be that voice at the table to say, "Hey, when it comes to the way we organize certain things, or around how." Our what's coming up? We have some parent teacher conference. There maybe we should look at doing some additional training for parents or for teachers or whatever it is you envision that your school needs. You could be that voice on the school level, and so that's called PAC. Parent Advisory Council. We have one at each one of our schools, and we highly encourage you to be involved at the school level if you're interested in that. And we kind of broke down what the difference between that and like a PTA and a PTO is. And so Jamila is doing an excellent job of just dropping these resources. If you can just look in the chat, click the links if you're interested in either one of those, for you to be able to get more information and follow up emails on those particular initiatives. So, again, there are so many opportunities that we have here in the district. The other piece that I wanted to share with you all are some of the opportunities that happen outside our school walls, right? So, for after school, so this is me as a parent, and you all can definitely put in the chat or raise your hand if you want to give insight on other things you want to see or know about as far as partnerships. So each one of our schools has their own partners. They may have some after school activities. You may hear some things that they do during the day. For example, a couple of our schools have Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts has just evolved to Gary Middle School this year for the first time, mainly because I think it's Gary. Yes, Gary Middle School. Because some of the girls who were a part of the group when they were in elementary school, well, they've gone on to middle school and they just are not ready to let go of Girl Scouts. And so it's an amazing opportunity for the girls to be able to continue to earn their badges, learn more about Girl Scouts, because our Girl Scout leaders do programming during the day. So that students don't have to have that issue of transportation or getting back to the school or getting home after. Some of our schools offer Girls on the Run during the year. That's usually in the springtime. We have different sports initiatives at every level, depending on the time of year. So, for elementary, we'll have basketball and cheerleading coming back up around the winter. We have track that is available for elementary, middle, and high school, and a couple other sports at the secondary level. So, both at, of course, at the high school, but at the middle school as well. Outside of sports initiatives and programming like that, we do have some after school partnerships. Gary Middle Schools had their sign up list recently posted on their Facebook page, and I think it went out to their Remind and Skyward to parents for their after school programming, and they've done amazing things. Like, they've had a class on balloon arches where they've done these beautiful balloon arches, and they've learned how to do different robotics. There are all these different programs that our students, and then they do the drama club and things like that. So our kids have a lot of opportunities during and after school. Also, we have some transportation to some of our local partners, the YWCA, the Boys and Girls Club. That's always been a question for me. Where are these kids gonna go after school? So you have City Life, you have Boys and Girls Club, you have the YWCA, these, and then of course there are some daycares as well. They do pickups from some of our schools. So if you need that support or assistance or understanding what the options are for after school activities, um, please reach out to your school secretary or someone in the front office to be able to get that list of who our providers are, who our partners are that have that transportation option for you. Let's see, what else do we have? Outside of our after school programming, um, and our mentorships, there also opportunities or one-off things that happen that we share with our families. And can anyone think of 3 ways that Gary Community School shares our resources with you, the community? Go ahead, Miss Richmond. Yes! Amazing. So we just rolled out this year, text messaging is a new feature. If you're not getting texts, just make sure your information is current with the office, with your students' school, so that you'll be able to get text message alerts for some of the things happening in our school district as well. We have the marquees that sometimes have information that go out, but here's one that you may not know. We have our very own radio station, 88.7 FM, where in the morning, Jeffrey Smith gives news about things happening all over the region, but also things that are happening in our district. So you have, as you mentioned, from a digital standpoint, you have Facebook. Hey, I'm not on Facebook. You have the website. You have Class Dojo. You have Remind. At the secondary level, you have Skyward, you have the text messages, robocalls, and then from a district level, we also do a monthly newsletter that comes out the first Friday of every month. If you're interested in signing up or get receiving that, that is just a very overview of things happening in our district and in our community that you can definitely get involved in. And so that information goes out once a month to all our families and community who wanted to receive that information from a district level standpoint. So, has anyone had their aha moment yet? Anybody raise a hand? No? Okay, I think I have the aha moment for everyone coming up right now. And then we'll take a couple minutes to for you guys to have any questions, ask those, and for us to share that calendar of events one more time before we get off. So, y'all ready for? I know this is gonna be your aha moment. You guys ready? Okay. This is something I just came across, and I was like, I didn't even know we had this. Has anyone heard of the Indiana Learning Lab? Oh man, Letitia, you just supposed to say no. Oh, Miss Burton, don't. Why y'all killing me? Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to find some aha moments for you all. But for the rest of the families on the line, our learning lab is actually a statewide program that's free for anyone to just sign up and get different resources and information. I, as a parent, was digging and trying my best to find more platforms and information around what's appropriate at her age group. And sometimes being on the state website and knowing what she should know at this age was becoming a little overwhelming, right? And then when you get your test scores back, I didn't fully understand what that meant when you're not getting something. What does this mean when you're not understanding this particular benchmark, right? And so this Indiana Learning Lab actually breaks down everything, all the tests that they have to take from iLearn to the I read, all those, what these assessments mean, how you can support them at home. There's this cool app that I recently downloaded. It is called Bedtime. Hold on, because I don't want to misspeak. It is called Bedtime Math. And I looked into it and I was like, now what does this do? It's an app that breaks down a math problem that should take you less than 5 minutes. And it has the questions broken down by age group. So whether it's someone, that's young versus a middle schooler versus a high schooler, obviously the problems are more complex the older they are, but it just starts that dialogue to be able to have that math language, right? You may hear um, when students may have problems with math, it's like you have to be more fluent in math. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. But applications like bedtime math allow that conversation to become more natural, right? Because they'll say, oh, think of things that you do in everyday life, right? We can do measurements when you're cooking. You can do different math problems when you're counting money and different things that you may see here and there. But I really like that bedtime math because it gives you additional scenarios and problems that you may not think of naturally in your everyday life to be able to challenge both yourself, challenges me, both myself and my daughter when we're talking about being more math fluent. And they have different applications that are available as well for English language arts. And they even have free applications leading into Khan Academy and some other resources that are free to our families just for being an Indiana parent. Then also, I want to rope in Miss Bridgman. If you feel free to drop any of your information or links in the chat. Our library has a number of amazing free platforms available to our students. They also have their tech mobile that works with our school district to come out and do different experiments. Our teachers have the opportunity to partner with them on a particular subject matter or a book or anything from science to reading to be able to give their students a more hands-on approach. And Miss Bridgman over at the library, thank you so much for sending over the link. Has so many different resources for our families to be able to get more for our kids at home. Now, this is just me. I grew up in a time where you had homework. You had homework, and sometimes the teachers feel like they did enough at school. I don't. If you come home with too much energy, I need to find you just one more activity. And so these free platforms are great because it's not just work. Sometimes it's a game, right? And so if we're worried about screen time and different things like that, we're able to help our kids continue to learn in a way that may be fun for them, right? That they may not understand it in the classroom when it's written on the board, but maybe they understand it in a game form. So always think of ways that you can incorporate learning, in ways that they like already, right? So if it's in a game form, if it's, through one of these free resources that our partners are able to offer, we just want to be able to support our families each and every day to be able to be, on the front line. If you need some assistance with some mental health support, we have those options available through our schools. You can definitely talk to someone in your administrative team, whether that's usually like your dean or your principal or someone who can guide you on what resources you have at your particular school. Again, as I mentioned before, we have City Connects, but we have also other partners in the community from Edgewater and other things that provide support and resources for our families. Don't just think it's just for the kids. It's all inclusive as ways that we can talk to one another, learn from one another, things that we want to see different that we weren't raised on, whether it's financial literacy, whether that's different ways to communicate, we can provide that for you. So we want to be able to continue to have these conversations with you and be able to get your feedback. If you can take 2 minutes to click, I don't know if you can click. Let me see. Jamila, if you're still on, could you drop in the link real quick? Because I'm trying to record and it's like doing a frame within a frame within a frame. If you click on that link Jamila has left in the chat, it's just a quick form where we would get your feedback if this was helpful at all. And feel free in the notes or in the comments, because it is anonymous. Tell me what you wanted to see. Tell me a partner you want to see included. Um, as I mentioned, there are so many. If you go to our website, garyschools.org, and go over to the parent section, we are going to continue to build what that looks like to be able to share more information on the supports that we have. As I mentioned, we have partners I call them like silent partners. Even if they are not necessarily working directly with families, they're working with our kids. So to me, they're working with our families, right? So GAPS, you have Junior Achievements, you have GEDF, you have the Urban League, you have the Gary Public Library. You have so many different organizations that offer free resources for our family. If it's from literacy, you have problems with, how do I read with my kid? How does that whole conversation begin if you just are starting to have that conversation? We can help you with making out a plan of what that looks like, because the more we engage with our kids and show them what we expect of them, then the more likely that they're going to, lead us on to greater and greater and greater things, which I know they're going to do regardless, right? Because we're here, we're that community for them. So, again, if you're doing that feedback form, today's date is the 29th. I'm so surprised we're already in October. I just can't believe it. Like, they had Halloween and Christmas decorations up at the same time. I was like, I'm just not ready for this. It's still 80 degrees outside. But anyways, presenter name Crystal O'Brien. Thank you guys so much for having me. The session today was the Family School Partnership, and that is with the Gary Community School Corporation. So if you could give that feedback. Again, if there's any other type of workshop, conversation, topics you want to see, feel free to share that with us. I'm going to put the full schedule back on the screen for you all real quick. As I said, tomorrow, come on out to have this conversation around the student behavior matrix. That information, as well as all the rest of the activities, are on our website. If you go to our website and you click on the activity from the events, you can actually add it to your calendar. That makes it easier for me. Push the button that says add all. You'll know about all our events happening in the school district if you really want to get excited about something. So you'll know where to be, what time to be there, and be able to share that information. Follow us on social media. And I want to just thank you all so, so very much for spending the hour with me. If you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and throw my information in the chat. If I can find it. Look at me trying to multitask. That is my email and my phone number here at the district. I don't know that one. That's horrible, isn't it? That tells you that I never call myself, ever, ever, ever. My number is 881-5407. I just want you to know I am more likely in the field and moving around than I am sitting at my desk. So the best way to get a hold of me is my email. But again, if you have an idea, if you have a question, if you have a follow-up question from anything we talked about today, feel free to reach out to me, and I will definitely connect you with that resource, that partner, that connection, so that we can all engage together. I hope to see you all at one of the other events sometime this week, especially Coffee with the Cop. Come on, have some coffee with me. I'll bring some hot chocolate and stuff too for those who don't do coffee. I don't know who doesn't want to do coffee, but I understand if you don't. But hopefully I see you all at one of the events this week. Otherwise, if there are no questions, we can go ahead and end the session. Thank you guys so very much. You're awesome. Thank you. Have a great one. Have a great week. Thank you so much, Letitia. I appreciate you. Bye, you guys.